Pastor Chad Steele, a name evoking rugged individualism beaten down into a malleable smoothness, surveyed his domain from the green room of grace, equipped with kombucha tap and anxiety-reducing lavender diffuser. Below, the atrium pulsed with the gentle thrum of ethically sourced coffee machines and the rustle of bulletins promising, "Your best week ever, guaranteed by God, TM." His sermon notes bore the title, "Deconstructing Discomfort, How Jesus Wants You to Feel Amazing," obviously. The text, a single pliable verse about peace, meticulously quarantined from its thornier biblical neighbors. The rest, a bit spiky, best left to specialists. On Wednesday nights, maybe. Serenity Springs was a marvel of theological elasticity. Less a fortress, more a climate-controlled bouncy castle of benevolence, designed to ensure no soul ever encountered an idea that might cause their oat milk latte to slosh. The driving credo: maximize occupancy, minimize offense. If the gospel was medicine, it had been diluted into a homeopathic tincture, administered with an artisanal, gluten-free breadstick. "Remember, team," Chad breathed into his headset, his voice a velveteen purr perfected for non-threatening authority. "Today's seeker is sensitive. They're on a journey. Our job isn't to confront sin, such a harsh, unwelcoming word. Think of it as suboptimal life choices. Repentance? No, it's choosing better vibes. We meet them where they are and then, with infinite care, leave them precisely there." The worship experience commenced. Hymns, archaic relics. Instead, breathy anthems flowed from a band clad in upscale camping chic. The lyrics were a masterclass in theological evaporation. Your love is a warm hug, a fuzzy feeling deep inside. I know that with you, my ego will never have to hide. Lights dimmed, replaced by swirling non-committal pastel projections. A lone dancer, draped in ethically woven cheesecloth, interpreted the universal yearning for connection through pantomime involving a large, inflatable globe. Silas, a traveling visitor, whose own church boasted sturdy pews and sturdier doctrine, shifted uncomfortably. He felt a profound, almost physical need to sing about a mighty fortress or something else. Anything else. Then came Chad. Oh, Chad. He bounded onto the stage. No pulpit, too authoritarian, clad in designer distressed denim and a t-shirt reading, "Love is greater than labels, but mostly love." His opening? A self-deprecating anecdote about accidentally liking an ex's vacation pics. Relatable. The crowd tittered obligingly. He segued into gentle musings on discovering your authentic self, generously sprinkled with quotes from a popular mindfulness guru, and a passing entirely metaphorical nod to the prodigal son. The son's rebellion became exploring alternative lifestyle frameworks. The father's forgiveness became radical, non-judgmental acceptance. The fatted calf? An unfortunate symbol of unsustainable consumption, best glossed over. The takeaway, beloved tribe? Chad beamed, his smile wide and utterly devoid of anything resembling the offense of the cross. God isn't mad at you. Seriously, never has been. He might be mildly disappointed when you don't choose your optimal path. But hey, no pressure, just vibe with the divine. Tune into your inner awesomeness. Because deep down, beneath the occasional unhelpful choice, you're fundamentally fantastic, and God just wants to help you feel, well, fantastica. Let's marinate in that affirmation. Breathe it in. Feel the serenity. Silas felt a profound theological indigestion. Where was the piercing power of the law that strips a soul bare before a holy and righteous God? Where was the call to die to the self, not merely upgrade its operating system? Where was the Christ who spoke of narrow gates and carrying cumbersome crosses? This wasn't the double-edged sword of the word. It was a warm flannel-wrapped security blanket, slightly damp from the tears of unresolved conviction. Spiritual pablum, designed to anesthetize the twitching conscience. The response time was a masterpiece of emotional engineering. Subdued lighting, a melancholic piano riff looping like a dripping tap. Chad's voice dropped to a hushed, conspiratorial whisper. Maybe, just maybe, you feel a little incomplete, like there's a spirit-shaped space in your otherwise amazing life. That's okay. That's just your soul whispering for more positive connection. If you want to invite Jesus into your journey today just to enhance the overall harmony and purpose, raise your hand. No pressure, no eyes. It's just between you and, well, you know, Jesus, the higher power, the ultimate good vibes. Hands fluttered up like startled moths, teenagers moved by the music, adults seeking a spiritual balm for existential ennui. No brokenness, no trembling before the throne, just a vague desire for an emotional tune-up with a spiritual warranty. Silas watched a young man raise his hand, then immediately check his social feed. Repentance? This was adding just another spiritual app to an already cluttered home screen. Afterwards, in the connection cove, Silas found Chad sipping fair trade cold brew. "Engaging message, Pastor," Silas ventured, the words tasting like acrid sawdust. "Very approachable." Chad beamed, radiating satisfaction. "Thanks. We're just committed to removing obstacles, you know? Making faith effortless. The early church had all that doctrine and persecution baggage. We've got validated parking and zero judgmental friction." "But," Silas chose his words like navigating a minefield lined with velvet ropes, "doesn't the cost of the gospel, well, matter? Doesn't it demand something? Turn things upside down? Create discomfort?" Chad chuckled, a sound like smooth pebbles in a gentle brook. "Oh, my friend, that's such an intense perspective. People respond to an invitation to wholeness, not a summons to surrender. We're building bridges of comfort, not brick walls of conviction. More people in the seats mean more exposed to the positive core of the message. It's a gentle mist, not a deluge. Less drowning, more moisturizing." Silas looked around at the tasteful sterility, the smiling faces untroubled by sin or sacrifice, the vague ethereal mist hanging in the air like dollar store perfume. He thought of sturdy hymns, of pulpits built for thundering truth, of a faith that costed everything because it offered everything. This wasn't the slow, sure advance of Christ's triumphant reign. It was a feel-good parade marching determinedly away from the battlefield, confusing the absence of conflict for victory. He patted Chad's shoulder. "Well, Pastor Steele," he said, the glint of a scalpel beneath his folksy tone, "you've certainly built something mighty pleasant here. Smooth as glass, comfortable as complacency. I reckon if one of them old prophets walked in, he'd either start overturning the fair trade coffee bar or looking for a can of gas and a match. Seems a mite over-engineered for something meant to shake the foundations. But bless your heart, go on and keep moisturizing. Some of us prefer the flood. Cleans deeper." He tipped an imaginary hat, a silent lament for truth abandoned in the pursuit of comfort, and walked out into the fervent sunshine. The gate at Serenity Springs wasn't just wide. It had dissolved entirely, leaving only a pleasant, frictionless slide into a spiritual cul-de-sac. A marvelous, milquetoast dead end, sopping wet with sentimentalism.